The historical figure that is Elizabeth Cady Stanton. The legacy of Elizabeth Cady Stanton started on November 12, 1815, when she was born in Johnston, New York. Stanton grew up around family that were abolitionists and took an interest in the exciting world of reform and politics. She would become a historical figure in the women's suffrage and abolitionist movement. Stanton helped organize the world's first women's convention, formed the National Women's Loyal League with Susan B. Anthony, and established the National Women's Suffrage Association. Elizabeth Cady Stanton would become a major voice for women, and her efforts would help to the passage of the 19th Amendment that gave women the right to vote. Elizabeth Stanton played a prominent role in the abolitionist movement by creating the Women's National Loyal League. Through the formation of this league, they were able to gather women and get their opinions heard through articles put out on papers, and helped with getting petitions passed around to help abolish slavery. The petitioning, public speaking, and political organizing Northern women performed during the war helped to gain new acceptance for women in the public sphere after the war. Hammond, 1989. Through this movement, they were able to gather over 5,000 members that helped with getting over 400,000 signatures for a petition that urged Congress to emancipate all slaves. History would say that their petitions would help to get the passage of the 13th Amendment that led to the abolishment of slavery. The legacy of Stanton did not just stop at helping the abolishment of slavery. They also wanted to end women's suffrage. Stanton stopped her movement for women's rights and focused on the Women's National Loyal League for slavery. But after the 14th and 15th Amendments were passed, they realized that women were still forgotten and not given equal rights. It was then that Stanton, with the help of Susan B. Anthony, formed the National Women's Suffrage Association. The association focused on uniting women for their cause and fight for the injustice of being left out during the creation of the 14th and 15th Amendment. Apart from fighting for women's suffrage, Stanton, with the help of her collaborates and association, fought for the rights of working women and to reform the marriage and divorce laws that were in place in that era. As early as 1878, Elizabeth Cady Stanton and other women leaders began appearing before the U.S. Senate in support of a constitutional amendment that would do for women what the 15th Amendment had done for blacks. Amar, 2005. Susan B. Anthony, with the collaboration of Cady Stanton, drafted the amendment that would give women the right to vote. She would go before Congress to fight the cause and talk about how women deserve the same opportunities that were being granted to others. She started a movement that would not go unheard, and gave a stepping stone for women to continue fighting. Although she did not achieve the goal she was fighting for before her death, her fight and the fight of other prominent activists were the concept behind the passing of the 19th Amendment that gave women the right to vote. From passing out petitions to writing newspaper articles to leading conventions, Elizabeth Cady Stanton helped with abolishing slavery and help women to get the right to vote. Eventually, suffragists inspired by early crusaders such as Anthony Stanton and Lucy Stone, and the quieter examples of thousands of ordinary Rocky Mountain women, succeeded in spreading suffrage to neighboring western states. March 2005. The movements that she partook in eventually led to results. The petitions that were brought up during the slavery abolishment did not go unnoticed, and their women's suffrage conventions motivated women. The actions of Elizabeth Cady Stanton and other prominent women were the stepping stones that led to a new era in America for women's rights. Her legacy will never be forgotten, because if it wasn't for the actions of Stanton and other activists, women would possibly not have the rights they have today, or would have taken longer to achieve what they achieved.